This episode is brought to you by Buffalo Trace Distillery. Powerful yet smooth. Contained but never tame. Proudly going their own way, but never going alone. This is the spirit inside Buffalo Trace Bourbon. Made at Buffalo Trace Distillery, the world's most award-winning distillery. Buffalo Trace is always perfectly untamed. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery, Franklin County, Kentucky. 90 proof, 45% alcohol by volume. Learn more at buffalotracedistillery.com. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, we're Big Little Feelings.
You know what else is big and little? Batteries.
Big energy.
Little size, and they go in everything.
So we switched to the world's first 3-in-1 Child Shield by Energizer.
It's the only coin lithium battery that has 3 safety features designed to help protect kids.
Secure packaging,
a bitter coating to help discourage swallowing, and an exclusive color alert technology that turns mouths blue when it comes into contact with saliva.
To learn more, visit Energizer.com.
Now, back to the Larry Kudlow Show.
So we return to the topic of the Secret Service and the problems and mistakes they've made. And I will say again that it is not clear, still not clear, that President Trump, former President Trump, has full presidential protection. So we're going to talk with Congressman Mike Waltz of Florida, who knows a thing or two about this. Mike, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. There's a story up on Breitbart. Representative Clyde, I guess, I don't know him, Andrew Clyde of Georgia. I'm sure you know him. Anyway, he is reporting that Speaker Mike Johnson, demanded that Biden provide Trump with the same level of protection that he called Biden. I don't know when the call was made. It might have been yesterday, the day before. Mike Waltz, what's interesting, you were when we were in Washington, you were on the TV show. I had interviewed Mike Johnson for the AFPI conference and asked him, the first question I asked him was, have you talked to Biden? So I guess he wound up talking to him. But Mike Waltz, we don't know what the outcome is. I mean, you all passed a House bill unanimously, which I think has the right language. But as far as Mayorkas at DHS or Biden or the Secret Service itself, we don't know that they've actually done full presidential type protection.
Yeah, Larry, good to be with you. You're right to be frustrated. I think the American people are right to be frustrated. I can share with you what the Secret Service director has repeatedly shared with us, and that Trump, Harris, and Biden all have the same levels of Secret Service protection now. There are some, and this gets into the nuances, there are some important and classified differences that the current commander-in-chief Biden has, because he's got literally his finger on the nuclear button. Now, that's a separate conversation if Biden's even awake or aware of that. But we're told he has the same, Larry. I think this is much more about a failure of culture, a failure of complacency, and a failure to make your protective detail match the threat. I actually think the conversation of make Trump equal to Biden is not the right conversation. I think if suddenly we find out that the Russians, Iranians, North Koreans, domestic terrorists are trying to kill J.D. Vance, then he should have the most protection, right? That's why I keep saying it needs to be based on the threats and what we know the threats to be. And the Iranians have had, and you know this because you know many of the people involved, ongoing plots with their intelligence agencies working through the cartels in Mexico, using the Venezuelans to infiltrate our southern border for years now, not just Trump, but Pompeo, Milley, O'Brien, everybody involved in the Soleimani hit. So they should have had a surge of protective assets years ago. And but for the grace of God, we've foiled 2 Iranian plots. There are more ongoing right now as we speak. So my question is more, where is Biden and Harris to impose consequences on Iran or anyone else that dare try to assassinate one of our political leaders? And we have had radio silence, not even a strongly worded speech from this White House or the Harris campaign about these ongoing plots.
Yeah, it's called appeasement. As you well know, their policy of appeasement on Iran and elsewhere, but let's focus on Iran, has completely backfired, as appeasement always does. But, Mike Waltz, I want to go back, though. After the assassination attempt in Butler Field in Pennsylvania, when they grazed Trump's ear, all right, that was like a providential, miraculous survival there. But after that, the Secret Service said they'd granted him full presidential protection. However, the episode, the attempted assassination on the Trump golf course in Florida, showed that he did not have full presidential protection. If he had it, they would have had the outside perimeter. They would have had much more resources on the inside. They would have had drones. They would have had dogs. You know this stuff better than I do. That's my point.
That's right.
The Secret Service told an untruth after Butler Field. And after watching this guy row in his press conference yesterday, I have no confidence in this because it's not about money. They've had huge monetary increases. It's, as you say, it's about placement and it's about threat risk. But I don't have any confidence that anything's really changed. Your House bill, when will the Senate vote on that? Because that is a good bill. That's a very good bill. When will the Senate vote on that?
Well, when will Schumer do anything is a broader question. I don't know that he's going to vote on that. By the way, just as you're having guests on to talk about government funding, the CR, all of those pieces, the House has passed 70% of government funding. It's been sitting on Schumer's desk now for the better part of this year. So I don't think Schumer plans to do any damn thing between now and the election, but blow hot air.
Well, then Trump is at risk. I mean, I believe he's at risk.
But the thing is, Larry, even if Schumer picked it up and we passed it and we gave them more money, you know how government works. It's going to take months for that money to actually flow into the agencies and for them to buy anything. Mayorkas can shift resources right now. Secret Service also has a counterfeiting, a very important, but not life or death, counterfeiting missions. Shift agents from that. I've talked to agents on Biden's current detail, and they're telling me they're sitting around because all he's doing is sitting around in Rehoboth. Right? You can shift agents internally, but he also has the U.S. Marshals. He has TSA. He has HSI, the Homeland Security Investigative Force. So if you have a bunch of leaders up in New York right now, which is taxing, you got to protect them. Shift those guys, and shift the agents to where the threat is greatest, and that's with President Trump. But that can be done now. The money will take a while to get in. All
right. Congressman Mike Waltz of Florida, thank you, sir. We appreciate it very much. Folks, we'll take a break, and then on the other side, we're going to do some stock market work.